Okay, so I'm going to continue with my presentation and explain to you a little bit about the courses that we offer at Capel Manor College. We are a specialist niche national provider for land-based qualifications, providing a high quality of education in our department. Our intention is to get you employed, to make you employable. We've got your students' well-being is one of our key values. And your skills to develop your English and maths while you're in the school will also be helped and supported in addition to the qualifications that we're about to talk about. We also encourage and we expect students to complete work placement, and that's at all levels. So whatever qualification that you intend to take, you will be expected to do hours out with the industry placement, which we will help you with to gain. First of all, under our school, we have 3 subject areas. So you should be in here if you're interested in either tree surgery, which is arboriculture. You may be interested in agriculture, that's farming, or countryside and the environment, that's the environmental conservation and wildlife studies. Hopefully you've all been put in the right room. I'm going to continue now as hopefully we've got the people we need in here. So I'm going to go through arboriculture firstly. If you've got any questions, there's a chat facility that you can pop your questions into on this blog. Just pop any questions in there, and the co-host Karen Hood, who will be taking over and talking about agriculture, will answer some of your questions in that group. Okay, I'm going to start now going through these. So the next one, first thing we're going to talk about is our introduction to arboriculture. Now this is our level 1 and this is our diploma. The diploma course is the beginning course of your career with us, and you're beginning to your careers. What you'll be doing and learning on this will be an introduction to health and safety, introduction to the actual arboriculture. The reason why we start people on level 1 and we encourage people to start, if you've got no industry background, or understanding of what's involved with tree surgery, this is the perfect course to start on. Arboriculture is quite a high risk industry, so what we encourage people to do is to take part in this, do this course and build upon this knowledge. Not all of the other courses run in that way, but we do strongly actually ask people to start on the level 1 and work forwards from there. You will be learning about tree identification, you'll be learning basic health and safety, but you'll also be using basic use of chainsaws and understanding basic climbing techniques, accessing trees, learning the green environment as well that you're working in at the college. Now this is going to be available at our Enfield Centre and our Nottingham Centre and our Gunnersbury Park Centre. So the next course that we have, just to give you an idea, this is really our part-time introduction course aimed for adults. Adult learners may take part in this qualification to gain an industry understanding. Again, basic use of wood chippers, understanding stump grinding use, tree identification skills. This is a 1 day a week course for 1.5 terms. This course, again, it's for career changers and people that can give us 1 day out of their time to come and gain some experience. This can then lead into level 2 or level 3 courses when you progress on from here. Arboriculture level 2, this builds on the foundations of the level 1 and allows you to step up to the next level where you'll be learning to do things like a little bit of tree science, understanding the biomechanics. You'll also be gaining skills in tree felling, machinery use, and basically learning the next level up. This is very much, you can step off at this point into the trade and go and start doing full-on work again. You may want to leave at this point or continue on to our level 3 program, which is designed for getting you into the management of trees. So the level 2 program is a fantastic course. It introduces you to the subject at a slightly higher level than the level 1. So that's why you need that entry requirement of the level 1. Okay, so arboriculture level 3. Now this subject is allowing you to understand the bigger environment. You heard from the Vice Principal when she was talking about the amount of trees that are in London, the jobs that are created to protect those trees, are tree officer posts. This allows you to become an assistant tree officer and work your way up into the local authority, looking after the more, I'd like to say, the scientific side of arboriculture. So you're going to be understanding plant and soil science, so everything to do with the ground influences the tree. You're also going to be looking at work experience, more so in management side of things potentially. So that might be working in a woodland, looking after trees, tree stock in a local authority. You'll be looking at the high-end stuff of managing tree felling activities, shrub and pruning and maintenance, aerial rescue, and aerial skills to do with that next level up. So we'll be pushing you for that. Trees in the urban environments is a really important thing to learn about, as we in London have a climate that's getting hotter, and the tree stock that we plant has to be appropriate to that. So you'll be learning about the skills involving in management of the trees. Again, if you've got any questions, if you can give me a shout. It's the first time I've ever done any of these kind of things, so any questions you want to put up on the chat, then please do, and hopefully Karen can answer some of those. So the next slide is, it says, it's just to talk about our industry skills ticket certificates. Now these are what they call license to practice. A license to practice is like your driving license for tree surgery skills. So all of the qualifications that I've just talked about help you gain training to become certified in this area. These are not included in the price of the cost of the course. These are independent exams and tests that you will be asked to take that the industry looks for employment. We do carry out these on site, and we have a training centre as well and an assessment centre on site, but it's very much like the analogy I use is you use a driving school to learn how to drive. The assessment centre is where you go to take your tests. So all of the tests here are gaining more and more stuff for your CV that will allow you to progress into the industry. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Karen now. Karen, are you there?
Hi everyone. For those of you that are interested in agriculture, these next few slides will give you some information about the different courses that we'll be running at Capel Manor College. So you'd just like to listen intently, and I will tell you a bit more about them. So this course is the Level 1 award in wildlife and agriculture. This is going to be run as a part-time course, and if you choose a February start, okay, it's a very it's more for an adult learner based, and the February start is going to be based on lambing, the shepherd's calendar, also about carving, and alongside learning about the livestock, you'll be doing some health and safety, which basically gives you the practical knowledge into farming. Yeah, and we'll move on to the next one. Level 1 diploma, and that's level 2, that's it. Okay, so here we've got the level 1 diploma. This is an introduction to farming and countryside management. You'll learn about different livestock species, again including lambing, calving, management of pigs and poultry, along with the wildlife and their habitat, how to manage it, how to identify different types of habitat, and also looking at machinery operations and conservation work. Within this course, you'll be mainly practical. All your assessments will be completed at college. You'll be having 2 online multiple choice exams, and you will also need to complete some work experience within the industry, which we can help you source. Okay. Level 2 in agriculture. This is a little bit more of a higher level. It's equivalent to GCSE. So if you've got good GCSEs at C and above, or 4 and above, this course will be for you. This course covers a broader range within the agriculture sector. looking at, again, livestock production, crop production and machinery operations. You'll be hands-on within all three aspects of that, so driving the tractors, looking and dealing with lambing and calving, working with the livestock in particular. You will also have to complete a minimum of 150 hours of work experience within the industry. You will be expected to start having a look into that now. So if you are interested in doing one of these courses, then it would be good for you to start looking at what farms, city farms or agricultural farms that are near you and that maybe will be prepared to take you on for up to 150 hours of work experience. And then we move on to the level 3. Okay, so this course is equivalent to A-level standard. It touches more on the kind of the science elements of agriculture, such as plant and soil science and nutrition and that kind of thing. So it will give you more in-depth detail with regards to the livestock production, so your shepherd's calendar, calving index, and things like that, along with crop management, root crop vegetables, as well as arables stock as well. Okay, ideally this is a 2-year course, however you can complete the first year and then move on to the second year once the first year is completed. It broadens your skills and knowledge with the identifying of livestock health and diseases, a bit of the organic farming, livestock nutrition as I've mentioned, along with machinery operations on a larger scale. Okay, again, you'll have to source yourself some work experience within the industry. So if you've got any ideas of anywhere that you can go and make a contact with, I suggest you do that between now and September. For the level 3 course, you will be expected to do 350 hours of work experience, okay? So this will give you a really good hands-on experience of what the real world is like within agriculture. So anybody got any questions, please feel free to add them onto little chat and I will answer them as best as possible, okay?
Hello again. We're going to talk through wildlife environmental conservation now, so for those people who are interested in conservation and wildlife. So the first course we're going to come up on the screen here is our level 1. Our level 1 award is again for adult learners who possibly would like a career change and would like to have a look at what's available out there and what countryside management is about. This course sits really well for those learners. So if you're thinking about a career change or thinking about a new a hobby to take up, this will run for 1.5 terms again, and will be 1 day a week. Our next one we should be talking about will be our level 1 diploma. Now this links in with agriculture, but this has more of a flavour of wildlife and conservation to this. So we look at British habitats is what we're focused on in environmental conservation and countryside management. So we do look at agriculture. We have our wonderful 40-hall farm, but we are managing the habitats that actually survive and live on that farm. We do wildlife surveys, etc. So on the level 1, you will be introduced and understand what ecosystems exist and how they exist within our local areas, in our local farms. So this is what this course is designed to do, to give you an understanding if you're just out of school and you want to come in and you really don't know what you want to do and you want to find a course that gets you out there, outside, out of the classroom, and gives you a basic introduction to what conservation and wildlife is about. This is what this course is aimed at. The progression from this course is our level 2. Now, if you come to us with a qualification, we can look at where we sit you best in here. So you may go to level 1, you may go to level 2 when you come to us. The level 2 qualification is very much hands-on as well, with a little bit more science dripped in there. So you'll be understanding a little bit more about the ecosystems and how they held together and what's key to making them work. You'll also be going out and actually making structures. You'll be designing and building things that are going to increase and help habitats. You're going to be working on sites where you're going to be changing what's there to make it a better facility for housing, for homing wildlife, and for increasing for conservation value. That's where we are with our level 2. Now, if you are then going to progress on, all of these units cover the British wildlife and habitats, but they also focus on work experience. You may, at this level, have already established a work experience provider, and you can return to those people if you've already worked with them in the past, and you can continue your work experience through the program, the golden thread of your education, as it were. So Wildlife Trust is a great one to get in contact with. If you talk to the Canals and River Trust, they're all local people to where you live. You can get in contact with local nature reserve people that run them, community groups, and you can actually take an active part in the process of managing those sites. So this then moves on to our highest level that we run at the moment, environmental conservation. This is a 2-year program, which you can either do 1 year or a 2-year option, entirely up to you. You can jump off at the first year or stay on for 2 years. You'll be taking it to the next level. So we have a lot of field trips that will take you out to the coast. We take you to an upland sites. You will be learning physical and biological environmental procedures, ecological concepts. You'll be looking at managing environmental habitats. This isn't just about being hands-on. This is about understanding the science and the logic behind making long-term management improvement or management plans. And you'll be learning the concepts behind all of that on this level 3 course. It's a very good course. It's been run at Capel for many years, as our agriculture and arboricultural courses have been as well. And as we've said in the past, they all rely on that element of work experience and getting you out there. So the environmental conservation course, brilliant course, and the nice thing on this one is the final end of your journey, you get to take part in the Wales trip, where we take students off to Snowdonia for 1 week, where we work with the National Snowdonia Trust and the National Trust of Snowdonia. So there's 2 different working parties up there. We do ecological work on Snowdonia. We also do footpath restoration work. We remove invasive species such as rhododendron. We also look at planting up other species. We take part in removal of invasive species. We do surveys up there, and it all counts towards A, your work experience hours, and B, it also counts towards your life skills, and it also counts towards your qualifications, because you get to use that information to put into your final project that you do for the end. Again, if you've got any questions, there's a question and answer session at the end of when I finish speaking, and you can text some things through on the chat, but afterwards there's an open discussion with the end of the rest of the college. Karen, is there anything else you'd like to add to this now?
At the present time, I haven't got anything I'd like to add. Just responding to some questions that are coming through on the group chat, actually. I'll read through them. I'm busy answering them, but I'll read through some.
You read them up and try and answer some, so we'll go.
Okay. So one of the questions from one student was, how many days are we given for work experience for level 3? I just replied to that and said 1 day a week, and then obviously that should be enough to account for the whole 350 hours, providing we start early. Obviously, if we do need to catch up, then we can catch up during half terms.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. The work experience can also, again, over Easter holidays, there's a fortnight there. It's just really working your time around getting out and, taking part in those activities where there are gaps available in the timetable.
Okay, another question was, haven't seen it yet, but just wanted to double check if there was any part-time options for level 2.
So Unfortunately, the process at the moment with the qualifications that we can run, there isn't a option, but the level 1 part-time program, there is an option there, and there's a level 3 part-time program. But obviously don't put these details in the chat, but it does depend on age. Whereas if you are 16 to 18, you are supposed to be in full-time education or employment. If you're older than that, then you obviously got the option to do the part-time qualification.
And one other question was, are there any trips for the agricultural group, or is it just work experience? So I have actually just responded to that and said, regards to agriculture, there will be several different trips to take you to different farms, markets, machinery shows, arable farms and things like that. We also take part in showing our livestock, so the Herts County Show, Suffolk County Show, which we would actually like to get students involved with. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, then we'll get you all show prepped up and prep all the animals, and you can come to the livestock shows with us. So trips are definitely key for agriculture. Okay.
Okay.
What level is recommended to start for a zoology graduate?
Right, okay, that's an interesting one. So who's that question from, Karen?
Kerry
Okay.
Farley.
That depends on, I mean, level 3 is obviously, we get a lot of students who come to us from, I've taught people with PhDs, doctorates, all sorts of things. They come here because our level 3 gives you that hands-on. So the level 3 would be the option. So yeah, the level 3 would be the option, I would say, depending on your qualification backgrounds. And that's something we can, you can pick up on the email or something chained to Karen, and you can look at what best suits. But I would say level 3 is probably the best thing.
Yeah, that sounds good. In terms of details for days and times that they would be attending, when would they receive that sort of information?
Well, that's just been finalised at the moment, but the days and times, as soon as, I reckon, by the end of the next 2 weeks, we just had to rejig things slightly because of the potential change of delivery style that we may have to take due to the COVID lockdown. We just had to address the way we intend to deliver. But I would say in the next couple of weeks, if you do apply for a course, your details will be taken by the admissions team, and then Karen or a tutor can get into contact with you and follow up on that. Okay. So any other questions there, Karen?
There's a few actually. I'm just conscious of the time now. What qualifications do you need to start a level 2 in agriculture?
I'll let you go with that one.
Level 2, you just need to have GCSEs D and above. So I think that's a 3 and above in maths and English in particular. If you haven't got your maths and English, then you will be having to resit them during the course as well. That's a government policy. So if you just put the application form in, and then we can have a discussion as to what level will be most suited to you. Okay. Another question, as a career switcher with unrelated degree, professional transferable skills and practical volunteer experience, would I be potentially suitable for level 2 or 3 course without doing a level 1 qualification, and that's in conservation?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing to do is to have a discussion with the course tutor, because they can really map your skills. But there's with every learner, we have to take in backgrounds, what they've done in the past. That means you could potentially come in. There is a part-time level 3 option as well, that you could take that course if that would be of interest to you. So that wouldn't be full-time. That might be more flexible for you, but also you're very welcome to look at the full-time. So yes, you could go straight to level 3, given your qualifications from before.
Okay, I thought there was more questions actually. The last one, it says, Oh no, there is another one. I have a choice between starting with a level 2 or level 3 as I wish to go on to university to continue my studies. Can you advise me? I'm 16 and in conservation.
Okay, so the level 3 program, again, you have to hit the entry requirements. So if your entry requirements are, you can see those on the college website if you really want to have a good look. The entry requirements will then allow you to define where you sit in whether you can get onto a level 2 or level 3. But also we are open to doing a discussion because there may be a reason why you may not have completed your GCSEs or whatever due to the COVID situation. You know, you may have been predicted a lower grade or something like that. We can have that discussion, but yes, we can. The level 3 then does give you UCAS points to go on to uni and continue in that fashion. Is there anything you want to add on that one, Karen?
I think the level 2 qualification, you're looking at GCSE grades from 3 and above. For a level 3 qualification, you're looking at grades 4, 5 and above. And obviously, if you've got those grades, specifically maths, English and science, to go into a level 3, then we'd definitely recommend you for a level 3. If you've got them slightly lower, then a level 2 would be more suitable just to get you into the kind of the academic level of being at college and then progressing on to level 3. Bearing in mind you're 16, I'd suggest it would be a good idea to start at level 2 and progress on anyway. But obviously we can have that discussion nearer the time. The next question is, how many days per week is part-time versus full-time for conservation?
Okay, so currently the full-time program sits at just over 4 days, but that's including English and maths. So it depends on your age and whether you're doing English and maths qualifications alongside. That takes it up to the 4.5 day program. We've got a 1-minute warning now, Karen, before we get booted out.
Yeah.
So the answer to your question is the part-time is a 2-day program, and we're looking at an element of that being taught online, so the theoretical units can be taught outside of the not coming to college to allow, because this year we discovered a lot of people did get work off the back of the work experience and the teaching that we gave them, and they couldn't make the 2-day commitment, so we've revised that to be potentially sometime online as well to reflect. But we can pick this up in an email